Captain's log. Started 875-12.1. Temporary assignment, USS Odyssey. Over the last week, my crew and I have been investigating leads on a Davidian incursion in the Dunatu sector with a temporal spin on things, as the Davidians are also traveling 2 centuries into the past and attacking there as well, risking damage to our timeline. These leads were provided by Franklin Drake. Past his name, all I know is that he has some connection to Starfleet intelligence, his security clearance exceeds my own, and he somehow has the authority of a high-ranking admiral, while answering to neither Starfleet or the Federation Council. Through my own investigations, I have come to believe that Drake belongs to an organization that I had heard of before, but dismissed as a myth. Section 31. But, my contact aside, the incursion he led us to stumble upon cannot be ignored, and as a temporal agent myself, I know that we have to travel back to the 23rd century and stop the Davidians there. Drake has given me a set of coordinates, at which I will apparently find the means to make the journey. Nessie's reports that we've got an incoming hail from an anonymous source. Doesn't take too much imagination to guess who it is. Put it on screen, Lieutenant. Well, as expected, it's our contact, Franklin Drake. No audio this time. He says that apparently we should feel privileged. He says very few people ever get to see this system. His organization has gone to a lot of trouble to keep it off the navigational charts. Apparently, this star is ideal for what starship pilots call a slingshot maneuver. He says that his organization uses it from time to time to deal with problems that take a more creative approach to solve. He says our best chance of getting back to the point in time where we need to be to destroy Driffin's Comet in the 23rd century is to use this star's gravity to accelerate the ship to such a high warp factor that we are able to access the time continuum. He says he's taken the liberty of having the light speed breakaway calculations added to the ship's database. God knows how he managed to do that. He says we'll need to hit a series of points around the star to hit breakaway speed. After we make our approach, we should see a navigational beacon. He says aim for it, and we'll have the correct trajectory for the slingshot. One more thing before we start. He's also added a hollow emitter to the vessel. He says will appear to be a Klingon D7 class battlecruiser with the appropriate access codes for the time period. He says, obviously, don't alter the timeline any more than I have to. Destroy the comet and stop the Davidians. Tyrell says that they've found the system that connects to the hollow emitter, and they're ready to engage it and start our run around the star on my command. Well, I suppose we're ready as we'll ever be. Drake seems to have gone to all the trouble to give us all the equipment we need. Tyrell, helm, engage! And there it is. On the outside, we should appear to be a Klingon D7 class battle cruiser. I'm not sure how he managed to get the necessary authorization codes from the Klingon Empire, but I think I know him well enough not to ask questions at this point. Engage! Right, that makes warp 7. Warp 8. Warp 9. 9.1. 9.2. We've jumped to 9.9. Helm, aim for that beacon. We reached trans warp speeds. Right, we've dropped back to impulse as planned at the beacon. We certainly look to be a Drazana station by the... Oh, well, I was going to analyze the station's sensor, the station system to see if we were in the right time. That is a Constitution class. An original Constitution class. My God, I don't think we need any more confirmation than that. Temporal says that based on the decay of elements in this system, we have arrived at approximately 150 years in the past. I did say we didn't need confirmation, but thank you for being thorough, Commander. She says somewhere around the Earth year 2265. And speaking of that Constitution class, we're being hailed. It's from the USS Reuben James. Understood, Commander. At this time, I believe relations between the Federation and the Klingon Empire aren't exactly pleasant. Let's hope we can talk them down, or we'll have to disable them. I hope we can avoid that. If we injure anyone on board that ship, we might do exactly what we're trying to stop the Davidians from doing, affecting our timeline. But we'll do what we can. Auxiliary power to the holo emitter, just in case. Put them on screen, but give them audio only for, well, obvious reasons.
Attention, unidentified ship. I am Commodore Jacob Ross, in command of the USS Reuben James. We have been searching for a Klingon vessel reported to have attacked a colony in the Gliese system. You fit the description of the ship we are looking for. Unless you can prove you are not, we will take immediate action.
I have no idea how we're gonna prove that we're not that vessel. And I'm open to suggestions, anyone. Terrell says that the Reuben James has closed the channel. They're not responding to hails and weapons are charging. Shields up, red alert. Terrell says we can't seriously damage Commodore Ross's ship without risking damage to our timeline. But we have to defend ourselves to complete our mission. She recommends we fire to disable. You heard the suggestion, Coles. Hold off on quantum torpedoes. Phasers only. Target weapon systems, shields, and engines. Oh, for God's sakes, close the distance. They're closing. Charge forward weapons. Coles, fire! Let's hope we can disable their sensors before they realize that these are phasers and not disruptors firing at them. Forward weapons! Fire! Let's hope we don't start a war. Their structural integrity is down to 30%. They're losing shields. And that is the Reuben James completely disabled. Right, let's complete our mission before they can repair themselves.
To any ships in range, please, we need help. I don't know what these things are, but they're all over the station. They're killing people. Please, you have to help us.
Flores says that the Comet is approaching the station. Its trialic energy is making it easier for the Davidians to manifest themselves. She says the people on that station don't have any way to fight them. We'll have to help, or they'll die. And no doubt alter the timeline. I fear you're right, Commander. You have the bridge. Coles, Tavrel, Nessie, Jerez. Let's get a change of uniform. Let's beam onto that station. Coles reports that he's reading multiple Davidian life signs. He says, we'll need to work quickly to clear the station of their presence. Agreed, Lieutenant. Weapons at the ready, all of you with me. Davidians, fire! Coles, fire! Bloody hell, Coles was attacked. He seems to be alright, though. Right, let's keep moving. Let's sweep the entire station. I can hear weapons fire with me. Coles says that he doesn't think anyone here appreciated the Davidians crashing their party. He says he's detecting weapons fire, so did I, broken glass, and signs of a struggle. He says it's a bar fight, and we'll need to quell it if we want any chance of stopping the Davidians. For God's sake, as if we didn't have enough to deal with. He says the Temporal Prime Directive is in effect. He recommends we set all weapons to stun to minimize the possible damage to the timeline. Understood. Coles, you focus on the Davidians. The rest of you, let's stun these bloody bar patrons. Right, there's security here. That's a Klingon. Right, he's been stunned. Right, that should be all of them. Set phasers to kill. Target the Davidians. Ah, bloody hell. little late to the party, aren't you? Fire! Right, take cover! Let's push to the stairs. Or the ramp. Right, there's one left. Fire! Torres is down. Cover me.
Do not attempt to stop us. We hunger. We must feed. Leave immediately, or I will amplify the time distortion and destroy this station. You will not survive.
Go to hell.
Hey, those things are holed up in the lounge, and they've got some of my customers in there with them. The door is barricaded, but a few hits with a phaser should take care of that. Get my people out of there!
Right, that's the door gone. Open fire! It's another one of the Ophidian. Oh, he's attacking. Bloody hell. He's charging. He's focused on me. Flank him. Oh, you want to come into our reality? You want to feed on us? It also makes you vulnerable to our photon grenades! That is a smoke grenade. It is a hell of a line, though. I'll punch you in the knee! Right, he's done. Clear the room. Bloody hell, target those portals. Right, Colas took care of that one. We've got one more. Right, the trialic waves are clearing. Right then. For now, we're safe. Oh my good God, that is Montgomery Scott.
Thanks for the help, friend. What were those things? Damn spirits snuck up on me. I noticed a spike in trialic energy, and I was working to adjust the station's shields to compensate.
Really?
I went to fetch a hyperspanner, and I was attacked. If you help me, I can finish my repairs before the trialic energy reaches lethal levels.
My God, his reputation as a miracle worker is certainly not unearned. We didn't even think of altering the station's shield to block out the trialic waves. By all means, Commander will cover you.
By the way, you can call me Scotty. Just as I suspected, the trialic energy is increasing. We'll be cooked like a haggis if we don't do something about it. There is a wee store on this station. The lass who runs it, Cassidy, said they might be getting a supply of the new quantum flux regulators. The Mark II versions. If we had one of those regulators, I could modify the flux coordinating sensors and use them to modulate the shields protecting the station. That would buy us some time. Go find Cassidy. She'll know where they are.
I believe I did find the store in question. We'll find her. Right, all of you with me, come on. Looks like some of the bar patrons are waking up again. Hopefully they don't remember that I stunned them. Right, it must be her. Greetings, I'm Commander... That doesn't matter, I'm a Lieutenant Commander in Starfleet. I need your help.
Oh, what were those things? They were floating, and one looked at me, and I felt so weak. And then it lifted me up, and... Oh, it was horrible.
For God's sake, she appears to be in shock. We need her to point out the flux regulators. We don't know what the hell they look like. Not in the 23rd century, anyway. But is there anything we can do to calm you down?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe a nerve tonic would soothe me. A nice stiff one, you know. Can you get one for me?
A nerve tonic, got it. There is a bar right outside here. I'm sure we can get one. Oh, for God's sake, right? Come on.
A nerve tonic? Almost every culture in the galaxy has nerve tonics.
Oh.
Most worlds have multiple variations, and everyone thinks that the one their grandmother made is better than all the rest. Look, I tend bar at a commerce station in the middle of one of this quadrant's busiest trade routes. It's my job to be able to make anything you want, but you gotta be specific. I could make you 14,647 different nerve tonics, 18,397 if you're Boolean. So, what kind do you want?
Oh, God.
Who do you think you are? First the lights go all strange, then these weird creatures show up, and worst of all, you're here picking fights with my best customers. Look at dear, brave, handsome Captain McQueen here. He could have been killed. You should be ashamed of yourself. Nerve tonics. How can I think about nerve tonics when my sweet Captain McQueen is injured? Well, if you want to know about any sort of exotic beverage, go ask that drunken Scotsman. Lieutenant Commander Scott. He knows more about alcohol than anyone I've ever met. While you do that, I'm going to make my sweet prince all better.
Nerve tonics? Ugh! You don't look like you need one of those. These wee beasties are troublesome, but they're not as bad as a ship full of angry Romulans. Now, I've been known to enjoy an occasional nip of Scotch whiskey. That's the only nerve tonic you'll ever need. Why do you need to know about them?
Cassidy's in shock. We need to get her wits about her so we can get those bloody quantum flux regulators.
Oh, for Cassidy. Now that makes sense. She's a bonny lass, that Cassidy, and more than willing to spend a little time with a right Starfleet officer, if you know what I mean. But she hasn't got the stomach for fighting. Is she alright? I hate for anything to happen to her.
She's, like I said, in shock. Nothing else as far as I can tell.
Glad to hear it. Sounds like she needs something to take a wee bit of the edge off. And that happens to be one of my specialties, along with transwarp transporter technology and warp field mechanics. Cassidy's been meeting me every evening in the bar for a spot of cheer, but I've never seen her order a nerve tonic. Perhaps if I told you what she likes, you'll be able to figure out the right mix. The bartender will help you. Cassidy didn't like the salty taste of the Albion brandy, but she really enjoyed the fact that it was garnished with a drop of honey that floated on the top of the drink.
Stemmed martini glass, warm, with honey.
He hates that the drink is so weak, and has been trying to convince the bartender to add garnish to it, to make the happy feeling last longer. But he won't, because then it wouldn't be a Sumerian sunset. Cassidy really likes the little pick-me-up of a drop of Skagarian whiskey. But she doesn't like the wee shot glasses.
Hot?
What kind of flavor profile are you looking for?
Sour.
How strong do you want this drink to be?
A little pick-me-up should do it.
How would you like this drink to be served?
Stemmed glass, martini glass.
And last but certainly not least, what kind of garnish would you like?
Honey.
This should be all the info I need. I'll put the drink on the bar when I'm done. I'll put the bill on your tab.
Do you have a drink for me?
Yes. I used to be a starship captain. Now I'm just a bloody waiter.
Alrighty. What tool was it you needed? Oh, a quantum flux regulator Mark II. I have one of those right here. Please, take it as a thank you. Cheers.
Thank God the Davidians held off for all of that. Thank you.
The right tool for the right job. I'll start making the adjustments, but I don't know if I've got enough time. You can't change the laws of physics. The triolic energy levels keep rising, and sensors show the blasted Comet is to blame. Modulating the shields is not going to be enough.
Oh.
Something needs to be done about that Comet if we're going to live to see the morning.
Well, I hope you can at least prevent the station from being boarded again, Commander. Well, at least we've given ourselves some time. Right then, let's find a secluded corner while he's working and get back to the Odyssey. Captain Blue and Ninja to USS Odyssey. This is the away team. 5 to beam up. Energize. Flores says that this is as close to the Comet's trajectory we'll take to Drazana Station. She says we need to destroy the Comet while we still have time. Understood, Commander. Nessie's reports that a group of Klingon vessels have entered the system. The lead ship is hailing us. Oh, for God's sake, what now? Put him on screen, Lieutenant.
Ah, a ship from the House of Duras! I am Captain Bavat, son of Warot, and leader of my house. My brother died due to Duras' treachery. I will avenge his death with the destruction of 100 Duras ships. Prepare to die!
Oh, for God's sake, couldn't Drake have picked a better hologram? Oh, red alert, shields up. Load torpedoes, fire to disable. Colet's target weapon systems, shields, and engines. Let's disable those ships. Holy hell, they're closing with us. Bavat's flagship is the IKV Couve. Right, Coles. Fire! Right, that's the flagship disabled. Target the escort. Escort disabled. Right, we've got warp signatures inbound, likely more D7 class battle cruisers. We'll deal with them when they get here. Helm, get us to that Comet! Coles, prepare to fire all weapons. Load a spread of tricobal torpedoes. Fire! Come on, before those Klingon vessels arrive, we have to destroy this thing. God, it's splitting into fragments, for God's sake! And we have to chip away at it until we can vaporize what's left. We've got more Klingon battle cruisers on course. Damn it, ignore them! Target that Comet fragment. Coles, fire! Fire point defense bombardment warhead. Move on to the next one. And attractivate. Fire! Right, that's one fragment. We're taking heavy damage. Coles, I think it's about time. Target those D7 class battle cruisers and fire. Right, that's one destroyed with a single spread of quantum torpedoes. Target the second. Their port shields are down. We've got another pair of D7 class battle cruisers in the system. They have yet to reach us. Target that fragment. Fire. They're opening fire. We can withstand it for a moment. Come on, we can't let these fragments drift out of our range. Zaba, eject warp plasma from the nacelles. Let's disable them. Right, they've been disabled. Target the next D7 class battle cruiser with a spread of quantum torpedoes. Right, that's one more down. One more group. Target those shards. Fire! That's one shot down. 9 more to go. Stand by, Coles. Fire! Right, that's another. Target the next. 2 more D7 class battle cruisers inbound. 17 kilometers away, though. We have time. They're closing. Auxiliary power to weapons. Target the next shard with the spread of quantum torpedoes. Fire a point defense bombardment warhead. And target the next. Damn it, the D7s are opening fire. How many have to withstand the assault? We've got Damn it, target those fragments. Pavat's setting a collision course. He's declared that he's bringing his ship up to ramming speed, for God's sake. Right, one more shard. Destroyed before Pavat reaches us. At least he's not got full impulse yet. His weapons have yet to be repaired, but he's got some engines and he's setting a collision course, for God's sake. Target those battle cruisers. Let's deal with them and then let's disable Pavat. Because we've damaged his ship so much, we'll have to use phasers only. No torpedoes. Right, that's another. Fire. Bloody hell, evasive maneuvers! He's closing with us. Come on, Hal, we can't afford to get hit. We might damage our hollow emitter and then we'll be in quite a situation. Helm, evade! Hell, that is a narrow miss. Right, we've got that. Right, now it's just Pavat. Right, Coles, hard about. Charge phasers. Fire! Disable him, come on. I mean, he's closing with us. We got him. Target that last shard. Coles, fire a spread of quantum torpedoes. Fire! Right, that's the Klingon vessels disabled. No casualties being read. And Griffin's Comet has been destroyed. I hope it doesn't affect our timeline too much, but it is the lesser of two evils. If we left it here, the Davidians would affect the timeline even more. Temporal reports, that did it. The remaining Comet debris is too small to be a threat. It's no longer generating trionic waves. She says now we'll just need to find a way to... She's detecting a temporal anomaly forming around us. Auxiliary powered shields, what the hell is this?
If you are receiving this message, then you and your crew have completed your mission. Driffin's Comet is destroyed, and the Davidians are no longer a threat to the Federation. You've done well. And, to prove that I'm not the immoral monster that some make me out to be, I'm going to help you. When you last docked at Deep Space K7, I had some modifications made to your vessel. One of those is the addition of a Borg temporal node salvaged from a cube in the Batron cluster. It's set to return you to our time. Congratulations on a job well done. Drake out. Excellent work. I knew I could count on you. The disappearance of Driffin's Comet in the 23rd century will be a scientific curiosity. I have taken steps to suppress information that might reveal our involvement, and I trust that you and your crew will refrain from telling stories about what happened here. After all, we're getting along so well. One thing I hope you'll take away from all this is that any opinion you may have of the immorality of so-called rogue elements like Section 31 is a bit naive. Contrary to popular opinion among some Starfleet officers, we do not spend our days plotting evil and committing random acts of villainy like characters in a bad holo novel. We protect the Federation from threats. Thanks to you, the Davidians are no longer on that list. If you think about it, everything we do is to preserve the freedoms you so enjoy. You should be grateful. Drake out.